we are back. Hello once again. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for me as well. It's been a while. A lot has changed since the last time I uploaded here. So it was a good while back. It was back in June. I think it was the 28th of June when I last competed. And sure, fast forward a couple of months, 18th of September. But the reason why I'm back recording is because I'm currently doing something which is basically the complete opposite of what I was doing the last time I was making videos, and that is I'm bulking. I am in my gaining phase at the moment, and I'm about 11-12 weeks into it now at this stage since I wrapped up that competition. So fast forward a couple of months and I'm a couple of kilos heavier. About 88.5 kilos at the moment on average, which is a nice place to be. I'm literally just after arriving back from a vacation. I was in Croatia and Montenegro for what, 4 or 5 days, which is very nice. But in terms of the body weight, this is the funny side of when you're in the building phase, and especially for me, who has in the past struggled to put on weight, be it physically can't eat enough food or mentally, where I find myself, if I'm getting a little bit too soft, I revert back to my previous habits where I might end up eating less food because I want to stay lean. Like when you're seeing veins in your bicep or you're seeing your ab muscles in particular lighting, it can be kind of difficult for you to have to push past that mental barrier where you're physically looking objectively worse in the mirror. So these are mental challenges that I'm currently going through. But the reason why I'm documenting this once again is because I'm fully committing to this bulking phase. So my next weight class, the next weight class up from 83 kilos is 93. 10 kilos is a lot of weight. If anybody has ever lost weight before, if anybody on this has gained weight before, you know 10 kilos or 22 pounds is a lot of weight. So that does mean I need to get there tomorrow. I'm not rushing this. I'm nice and patient. I'm being consistent. So when I was with my nutrition coach, our game plan has been, and still is, gaining about 1% body weight per month. If it's any slower than that, I'm not really gaining weight. So if that is the case, if I'm sticking to my current calories, which at the moment is about 3,300, more so range, about 3,200 to 3,400 calories. There's a couple of days it might be a little lower, some days a little higher. But the main thing is, if we don't see that gain of about 1% body weight per month, then I will increase the calories gradually by about 5-10%. So that's the goal at the moment. And as I said, I'm not in any rush to get up to 93 kilos. I want to slowly build my way into this weight class to allow my body to build as much muscle as possible, because there's no point in putting on 10 kilos and all 9 kilos of it are fucking fat. There's a waste of time. You're just adding mass for the sake of it, whereas I want to gain quality. I want to gain lean tissue, which I know as a natural athlete, and as an athlete that is now fucking 29 years of age, time's going by quick, but as a 29-year-old natural athlete, I'm realistic with my expectations. So my aim for my next competition, which I haven't announced, so I'll announce it. Yeah, so I'm competing in December, hopefully. That depends on this weekend, which I'll get to now in the next clip. But I'm hoping to be in and around 90 kilos, which is my heaviest I've ever been for a competition. So that's exciting. That's a nice challenge in itself. But I'm looking forward to seeing how that translates to the weight and the numbers I lift on the bar. So yeah, here's to the next couple of months of this building phase. I'm looking forward to seeing how things go. There's going to be challenges, of course. Let me get my Wallen-Keogh flat white coffee into me, and let's lift some weights. It's a deload week this week, so it shouldn't be too bad. But here's to the next couple of months of building together. Let's get to the gym. Let's lift some weights. So you just saw me hit another deload session, hit my 210 triple on deadlifts, squats 140 for a set of 6 and a couple of back offs, hitting the belt squat, the Jim Lecco belt squat, which is nice because that's actually the first time I've used it in a training block. And I know Emmett, my good friend Emmett Quinlan, he is also using that in his current training plan, so I will be the shy of him on that. Give me a couple of weeks. Getting stuck in anyways, hitting nice momentum with training now. Everything, all the summer antics are out of the way. I had a couple of weddings, a couple of stags after my last competition. I was abroad twice. I was in Switzerland. I'm just back from Croatia and Montenegro for a couple of days. So yeah, everything is out the way, and I don't have much going on between now and December. I'm going to become a bit of a hermit, which I don't mind. I like that. I like just being in a nice routine where all I'm doing is working, training, going to the sauna, getting nice gym sessions in, drinking coffee, going to cafes, and living the wholesome life, going to see Stevie at the weekends, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm up in Dublin in Westside, but I am going back home to Laois as we speak. So I'm going to go home, give her all the dreamies in the world, and go from there. But the reason why I'm going home is because Saturday, the next Irish PF competition takes place down in Cork, and I am spotting alone, so I'm actually platform manager for the Saturday morning. And I am basically, the reason I'm doing it is because, one, I love the sport, of course, and I love to give back. But number two, and probably more importantly, it's my way to get access to an early bird ticket for the next competition, which I want to compete in, which is in December, down in City Gym in Limerick. So in order to get access to early bird tickets, you must volunteer for the Irish PF, which is a good incentive, of course. So I am going to do that, and I should be able to get access to the early bird, which I should be able to get access to a ticket and compete for the first time as an under 93. So yeah, that's the reason I'm going back. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. I'm going to drive home. I need to get something to eat. I'll show you what I'm going to eat, and we'll take it from there. Stay safe. So we are back once again, back in the motherland, back to Laois. And yeah, traffic sucked, but it always does at that time of the day when I'm coming back from the gym at about like 5-6 o'clock. The M50 is just an absolute nightmare, but it's always worth it getting home to see my lovely Stevie. So yeah, she's getting fluffy now as the winter starts to settle in. So the difference between her size, she's like a small little kitten during the summer when she has her summer coat, and now as the winter comes in, big winter fluffy coat on her again, she's looking much nicer. But yes, why do I have a pot in front of me? Well, this is my second last meal of the day. So I have my actual dinner ready to be eaten, which I'll probably eat in about 30 minutes. Because we're on that gain train, I have to eat a lot more food than what I would have done, let's say, before my last competition. But what I'm eating here as a little snack, and by little I mean big snack, is ramen. And when I tell you that this is some of the nicest shit around, have a look at this. Kind of difficult to see, but this is the kimchi ramen noodles. Spicy ones, of course, because we're not soft boys around here. An egg, which when I cracked it into it had 2 yolks in it, so lucky me, I may do the lotto. Scallions, chicken, sweet corn, mushrooms, peanut butter, and a little bit of chili oil. And by God, when I tell you, this tastes so good. It's absolutely banging, as the Northern Irish lads say. But yeah, I'm going to get stuck into this. I have a cottage pie, or shepherd's pie rather, for dinner. Going to knock it back with milk, protein milk as well, just to make sure I hit my protein target today of about 210 grams. Not too difficult. I don't find it very challenging anymore because I'm just so accustomed to hitting that. Like, my protein target remains the same whether I'm in a diet or in a gaining phase. The only difference really will be my carbs and fats. And it's not even usually my fats that vary much. It's mostly my carbs. So like trying to hit at least 400 to nearly 500 grams of carbs per day, depending on the day, of course. But for now, just getting stuck into this. I'm about to watch one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment. I love watching YouTube, by the way. I don't really watch Netflix or I don't watch TV unless there was a match on, like soccer or rugby or something like that. But I'm watching Sam Sulek, one of the boys. And seeing as he's starting to cut now, I'm kind of going the opposite way from him because we're basically the same person, you know. He only weighs 250 lean when I weigh soaking wet 190. So yeah, bit of a difference. But yeah, about to get stuck into him, get a good night's sleep, have a gym session in the morning with my good friend Emmett. It's been a couple of weeks actually because there's just been a good bit going on between travel, stags, weddings, etc. So, as I said, getting back into that, getting back into the winter arc sort of thing. So things have settled down, the social aspect of my life, which I'm looking forward to just settling down, as I said, getting stuck in, and the next couple of weeks are going to be very exciting in terms of my training. I cannot wait to start hitting PBs again. So here's to the gain train. Let me get stuck in with this. I don't want to get too cold, and let me force feed myself that shepherd's pie later on this evening. So yeah, chat to you in the next one.